Okay, so today I'm going to be putting a JJB piezo pickup in my wife's Mahalo ukulele. I had some previous videos, but unfortunately they did not make it. So what I've done so far, I have drilled the hole, I taped it off, and I used a 3/8 drill bit. So I taped it off, found my center line, marked it. You can see the seam really easily here. Drilled it with a drill bit, and then the hole needs to be almost an inch and a half. I'm sorry, almost a half inch. So I used a hand reamer and my Dremel, and basically reamed out the hole to the point that I can fit the jack in there, but not the threads. So the jack that I'm using is a Mighty Mite screw thread jack, so it actually goes from the outside. So I have it to the point where it fits in there. What I did next was I took my grabber here, grabbed the wire, and pulled it out where you can see there. So I've tested this jack, and the shortest one goes to the tip, which is the yellow wire here, and then the longest one is the ground, or the sleeve, and that goes to the unshielded wire. So the next thing I'm going to do is solder up this jack. And then I should be good to go. We'll see what happens. Okay, so we got it all wired up. Obviously it's working, and that's just with the pickup hanging around loose in there. So now we've got to screw it in. Okay, so now that we got everything wired up, now's probably a pretty good time to blow the dust out. Now I use one of these, and I would stick it in here like this, but I'm going to take it away from my workbench so I'm not blowing dust all over my stuff. It helps to have as little dust as possible in there, so when you go to stick the pickup on later, you want to make sure it sticks really good. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and try to screw the jack in there. For a screwdriver, I'm going to try to use my Dremel wrench because it's nice and wide. And it fits in there really well. I read online about how you should lubricate wood screws, and that seems like a good idea here. I watched a video of some Australian guy who was showing how you can like screw a screw in like 3 times faster if you lubricate it well. So I've got some Howard feed-in wax. I use that on my Babinga base. So it's kind of got the consistency of like applesauce. Alright, there's some right there. It smells really good too. Yummy. It's all citrusy. So I'm just gonna drop some of that onto my jack here. And I'm gonna go wipe off my hand. They said you could use anything, oil or grease. Ooh. That is greasy. It will come off later. I'm going to try to hand thread it in as far as I can. And then I have to bring out the big guns. I don't have particularly big guns, so we're going to see how this goes. And the flopping sounds you hear are just the pickup rotating inside the body of the ukulele. Alright. Okay, so this may require some man strength, so I'm going to go ahead and turn off the camera so I can position myself comfortably, and I'll be back. Okay, so we got the jack in there. It was pretty difficult, honestly, at least for the past, the last centimeter or so. I'd probably recommend the other style of jack that passes through the body and then the strap button screws on from the outside. But, I mean, as long as you make sure your hole is definitely big enough all the way down, maybe you wouldn't have as much difficulty. Or maybe I should have just bored it a little bit wider, but I wanted to make sure that the screw threads would be able to catch. But it's definitely working. Oh, amp's off. Hear the piezo rattling around in there. So now the next thing to do is to take our blue tack here and attach the piezo to the underside of the soundboard. Okay, so I have detuned the ukulele a lot so I can get my fingers in there. I'm just going to reach in and grab my piezo. Well, easier said than done. Okay, so I'm going to take some big ass tweezers and I'm going to grab my piezo and then lay that there on the strings and get a piece of this blue tack stuff. It's kind of like taffy. So that's not what I meant to do. Stick that back on there. Okay, so the backing paper is here, and then we're gonna take a nice square of it. That's all of its taffy goodness. Hopefully you can see that. And then we're going to take it and apply it to our piezo friend here. Make sure that it's nice and on there really well. Then it goes out to the edges. So we have a nice gob of, trying to get my hand out of the way, blue tack. And I'm just gonna reach in there as far back as I can go toward the bridge and stick it on nice and firm, which was pretty far back indeed, I must say. I'm supporting it from the other side with my thumb in case that makes a difference. I don't think my finger is going to go smashing through the top or anything, but you know, just to be on the safe side. And that bad boy is done. Alright. So it's in there, all installed. Let's plug it in and hear our very detuned ukulele. Woo! Alright, so it works. Alright, so after 2 days and about 2,000 tools, we have 2 successful JJB piezo pickup installs here. We have my mandolin, which I did yesterday, and some of the day before, which has 2 JJB 20mm piezos in it. I actually ordered the set of 3. So I put the third one in this ukulele, so they're both in there. They both have Endpin jacks, 2 different styles. I definitely recommend the kind where you slip it through the inside as opposed to the kind that threads into the body. But some people might have more experience with them, maybe better at it than I am. But anyway, so they're both all together, nothing exploded, they sound really good. The ukulele is done. I surprised my wife with it, so that's good. And if you want to hear what the pickup sounds like, I'd recommend checking out part 2 of my mandolin video, because I am an even worse ukulele player than I am mandolin, so that would probably give you a better idea of the quality of the pickup. Anyway, thanks for watching, and be sure to like and subscribe. Thanks.